Okay, so I'm at the end of the adventure, and I've got basically the final battle. I've actually went through the final battle, but I saved it here, not realizing where I was. So I'm going to go through it again and give you guys some ideas and thoughts. Also, I want to talk about some of the better equipment that I've seen in this game. So let me do that first. One thing that I have discovered, and I'm sure if you do a lot of reading, you can find all this. Obviously, if you look here when you hover over, it's going to tell you like whatever the gear will fit. So they'll pop up in green. Hey, the warrior, paladin, and hunter can use these things. So not everything is meant to be exactly like super beneficial in the right way. Like you might want a crystal sword versus a diamond sword, and that's just up to you to figure out like what do you want the special thing to be. So I was trying to maximize armor class down here, and you can see I've got like -20 for a wizard is my lowest one, and he's almost matched the warrior at a -26. So it's only 6 armor class off, and it's a -26. There's a lot of bonuses happening here at the moment as well, but there's some things that I think would have been more interesting to know early on. For example, you have a slot for a helmet, you have a slot for armor, you have a slot for an offhand. In this case, I'm using a shield, but I have another slot, an item, and I have a master key, so I can go through any door. Probably don't need to be holding on to that anymore. And then I have a slot for a ring. I would encourage you to get all these shield rings. They pretty much go on everyone. It gives you a bump of armor class 2. There are a couple people that I chose a different ring, but I pretty much love this guy right there. And it's only a couple areas that drop it. There's so many great pages for you to find information. Let me go. Well, I'll do that at the end. I'll show you the pages I typically use. One is on Steam and the other is an OG site. Well, at least it looks pretty OG. So I got these speed boots, bonus to run. I never actually run in a battle. Actually, I take that back. At this level, what is he? Like, let me go back and see his level here. 27, he was drained, so 30. My guys are level 30. And the wizards, the magic users, I've done all the conversions, and they've gone through 4 different classes. So they were, conjurer, wizard, sorcerer, and whatever. So the 4 different things they could be. They've gone through that, and they're actually level 20, while my main guys are level 30. So they're only 10 levels behind. But look at the hit points they've got because they've leveled so much. And everything they've done, all stats are at 18 because it doesn't reset anything. So the other guys' stats are not at 18 because, well, they keep going up. This guy got turned old, so all of his stuff goes bad. When you get turned old, there's no way to come back from that without going back to a temple. Same thing for drained. Anyway, so when you're going through the gear, you're going to find the gear that makes sense to you. I prioritized armor class, so I'm wearing these war gloves, which don't really do much of anything except give you better armor class. I'm like, well, that's what I want. There are other things you could get, and I just never really found the use for them. Like, I always chose to go with 7 people, so having the figurines that would summon somebody wasn't a big deal. I never used it. I never summoned anything. Even these, like, hey, there's a shield I have 42 casts of the YMCA, the mystical coat of armor. And, I mean, I just never used it. I would just cast it. So there's pretty cool casting things you can get. So on the other guys, like a bard or a paladin or the rogue, certain things do work and other things don't work. So like the bard could wear mithril gloves but couldn't wear like different type of gloves. So it's just weird. So it's not always a 1-for-1. Like adamantium or mithril may not actually work the same on your guy. I did give this thing his traveling helm, the airport arcane. So that's you can shift floor levels and teleport. It doesn't cost that much, so I didn't think I really needed it, but it gave him a helmet that had 3 armor class that he could wear, so I was like, yeah, why not? Once I got the bard sword, so it allows me to play unlimited songs, I never once had a problem with wetting my throat. Actually, even before that, I didn't have a problem, because I'd always go to the inns and buy a drink. Okay, so next thing, I did try to keep this thiefy, so if I found a thief dagger, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll pick it up. He gets a bonus to hide. He can hide 100% of the time. There's another one called Death Dagger that I ended up picking up. Oh, it's right there. And it gives a bonus to critical, so it drops your maximum damage by a lot, but everything's a crit. So I thought, I'll give that a shot. That sounds very thiefy. I don't really care to min-max all the time. I like to kind of play with the theme and just see how it goes. Though I did prioritize armor class because if they can't hit you, they can't hit you. That's just good stuff, right? I guess the other one is like for resistances when a spell is cast, armor class doesn't matter so much. All right, so on to the wizards. One of the cool things was these elf cloaks. You just put a cloak on, a slotted item, and it gives you armor. They could wear some gloves, which is weird. They could put on a helm, but only this lore helm, which gave them protection and the shield ring. The other thing that I went with is this. I tried it both ways. This conjurer staff halved the price of your spells. And then there was another staff, he actually might still be using it. The mage staff lets you regenerate spell points. So do you want to regenerate or do you want to have half the cost? In the end, I chose getting half the cost for all of my spells was way better than regenerating because I cast all the time and I'm not just walking around enough for the regeneration to take effect. So that's what I chose to go with. I tried really hard to get everybody a shield ring. It took a while to find them all and get everybody the ring, but I figured, I think Omar doesn't even have one, right? Oh, he does. What is he missing then? He's missing something that gives him, he's missing 2 points of something. What was it? The lore helm, he doesn't have that on. He must be wearing something else. I actually probably have one in here I could have put on him. The wizards in the back, they really never got hit, so it was totally fine. They were the saving bit of the party. I could have just done defend, 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 and then hide in shadows, and then the other 3 guys attack. I pretty much always used, let me pull it up and see if I can find cast. It probably won't let me. Let's see, cast, it was blade, I think it's mind, that's it. Mangar's mind blade, and that's the final boss, so I guess I'm casting his mind blade, I don't know. But so what this thing does is it hits everybody. So instead of saying I'm attacking this group or this one person, it says I'm going to attack everyone everywhere all the time. So if they summon somebody in, he automatically it's to attack that person too. So I would usually just attack that 3 times. And you can see right here the spell cost is 10 for him. But if I did it for the other guy, let me change it. Whoa. Cast. It should be 5, yeah, because he's got that staff. Okay, so I'm going to go forward. It's going to dispel my stuff. We're going to do an attack, and we're going to see the end of this game. Everybody is healed up. I got all my stuff. The bad part is it's going to dispel me right as I get there, which sucks, but whatever. I guess I could cast. Let me go ahead and cast Rest to get everybody's hit points all the way up. All right. So yeah, so basically I could just hit defend, which I don't even know what defend really does. I'll go ahead and do it. He always casts a song. Usually it's, let me go back. The songs I'm casting are either this one right here with makes the foes attack less harmful, and then up here is anti-magic. So I pretty much always do those two. He hides in shadows and attacks the second time, or I do have an equipped item he can use, but these guys right here, pretty much, I mean, I shouldn't do it here. There's only 4 of them. I should use a different spell. Actually, I will. How about that? I'll use something massive. So go up here, attack a single group, and you go to the bottom. Farfo Wizard. How about this one? 50 to 200 damage by some sort of storm. It's only 8. I mean, normally it would be 16, right? So yeah, let's cast that. And then I'll have him cast some sort of, we'll do ice spell. Ice Storm's a good one. And then you hold down spacebar and it just whizzes through everything. They're all dead. Unidentified armor. So I do want to check that out real quick. I hear later on diamond plate. So I think everybody's already got that stuff. Yeah. He can't wear. Oh, he can. So the nice thing that they've done in this game to make it more playable than way back in the 80s or 90s, whenever it came out, is if you can use it, it's up top. And there's a party inventory, so you don't have to keep moving it around. Everybody can pull from everybody's stuff. So he can't wear diamond plate. It's obvious it's red. It's in the lower part of the list. Another cool thing is you can only carry 40 items, but I can stack arrows so that it doesn't take up so much space. Right here I got Zen and AG, so I think AG is silver, so it's silver arrows. I don't know why they just didn't call it silver arrows, but whatever. Okay, yeah, I could go back and level up, and at the end of this one, I'm going to get a ton of experience. You gotta run through that. I'll go ahead and, how much do they get hurt? A lot. So we'll go ahead and cast, oh, yeah. So you have to have the triangle and the circle. Let's see, in the inventory, I've got, yeah, the key, the circle, the triangle, and there was another one, I forgot what it is. There's like 3 things you need to have on you. I think one of my guys is actually carrying it. All right, so when we go through, oh, another fight. All right, this is a good one to show you. So there's 9 maze delvers. I don't even know what that guy's gonna do, but I know they get pretty vicious. So I am going to cast that. I'm going to make him use his item on that, and then I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna do that same thing I did before. I'm gonna cast some big spell and drop them all. There you go. On that guy, and then we'll do cast blade, cast. So these guys will pick up anybody that didn't die. Yeah, so the magic users are just awesome in this game. All right, there's no way around that. I can trap zap it, but it doesn't actually work. Last time it didn't work. So usually I pick whoever's got the most. Go in here, trap zap, boom. Oh, it did. And then if you go through the door, I think... All right, hold on, let me check that out. Let me cast, or check out where we are. Yeah, I'm right there, so I should be at it. There we go. All right, so you stand in the antechamber of Mangar the Dark Evil, Archmage of Skara Brae. Skara Brae? However you say that. Mangar glares at you with deep hatred. Die, mortals! I don't know what he sounds like, but I'm going to make him sound like a wuss. He screams. With a wave of his hand, and with a wave of his hand, a few of his close friends drop by. Oh, he's summoning stuff. They don't look like a group of fun. Boom. Okay, so he summons some items. Here's the thing. He's going to keep summoning over and over and over and over. You want to kill everybody, of course, but you need to really pound on that guy. I had another fight I did on this. I had people die. I did not fight very well. I just was doing my normal fight, blade. I should have thought harder on this one. So this time I'm going to cast some really big stuff to see what happens. All right, so we'll do, I mean, of course they're going to fight the Demon Lord. Fight Demon Lord. He's going to Bard Song. You know what I could do is I could stop him from summoning. That's what I'm going to do. The magic is the worst part in this game, so I'm going to do the anti-magic. And then him, I'm going to have him use his item against the Vampire Lords. And then everybody else is going to cast some big stuff. So let's go all to the very bottom. What's the biggest thing he could cast? Keeps an enemy from being able to summon any creatures. I mean, that would be pretty boss if he could do it. So I'm going to... That's awesome. It actually covers everybody. Nice. So let's see if that actually works. Because that was the hardest part of this, is he kept summoning stuff. Single group, 60 to 204 points of damage. All right. Assault a group of opposing spellcasters and may do one of the following: inflict massive damage, turn in the stone, or kill them outright. Interesting. So it says it has to be a caster. So Mangar would count. Yeah, let's try that. It's 20 points. Mage, Maelstrom. And so you'll see all the cost of everything this guy does is way more because he doesn't have that item. Safety spell, what is that? No, it returns me, summon. I never summon anything. Stone to flesh, far foe, beyond death. What is this guy? An electric spell that creates... Okay, so it's a huge amount of damage. I'm going to sick that. You know what I should do? Single group. I bet you there's one here. Death Strike. Very likely to kill enemy, big or small. Okay. So I don't like that because there's no damage, and if it doesn't work, nothing happened. This spell possesses an enemy to join. Oh, you know what? There was one that would pull a demon to me. So I like this one, 50 to 200 for a psychic. And so it's because it's attacking one and not a group, it probably is going to be more effective, although it's only level 5. Spectral touch. Drain. This spell will drain an enemy. Yeah. So you can tell I don't really use these all that much because I don't even know what they do. The power to summon is the power to destroy. So that destroys demons. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go for the biggest one. I'm going to try Death Strike on... You can cast it on your own people. That's so funny. On this one right here. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to go slow with this battle. So the Vampire Lord. So everybody's blocking, which is pretty cool. Some damage to put out. Marcus plays a tune. Oh, that's interesting. All right, I'm going to go back and look at this. So Marcus plays a tune. Damn, look at that. So he hits the Demon Lord for 179 points of damage and killed it. Okay. He hits a Demon Lord 8 times. What? For 93 points of damage, but did not kill it. That's crazy. All right, Merlin cast Preclusion. I guess that was the one where it stopped him from summoning. So Grady uses his shield. Doesn't do much damage. That's fine, but at least it did some damage. Oh. But they disbelieved the spell. Okay. I didn't know it was illusion. Zap cast Death Strike, but is out of range. I guess I should have read that. Oh my gosh. Mangar cast Disrupt Illusion. Okay, so he knew. That's interesting. But he took the time to do it, so at least he didn't attack or kill any of my guys. Actually, looking at it, nobody really got Summon Phantom. I thought I stopped summoning from happening. Okay, so the Vampire Lord pulled in a Phantom. Man. Okay. So let's just go main damage. We're going to attack 1, attack C. We're going to... Let's go with, we did magic. We're going to make them attack less. And then let's go, let's just, I guess he gets sneak attack if he does this. So let's hide in shadows. Cast. We want massive damage, not, oh, it's Death Strike 10 feet. Duh. I didn't see that. So there's a whip. Single target, 70 feet. Let's try it. So a Soul Whip on Mangar, cast, single target, Soul Whip, Spectral Touch. Let's try that. So all these are, well, that's 50 to 200. This is 16 to 60. That kind of sucks. So you can also see like they drop off in the spell costs pretty quick, which means they're probably different levels. But they also could be, like you see there, it goes from Wizard to Magician. So Wizard's harder to get. You get him later on as you upgrade. So his lower level spells like this one, level 2, will do 32 to 128 to a single demon. We don't want that. I don't really care for poison, and these are too low level. All right, so let's just go for everything. See all the spells. He didn't say it was an illusion. That's interesting. So he dispelled. He didn't believe the illusion. So great. We're not going to do an illusion. We're just going to kill. A spell. Yeah, so here's a Storm of Power. Boom. Right on Mangar. Cast. So let me show you Blade. This will hit everybody. Oh man, so he got turned to stone by somebody. Oh, and damn it, I went past it. I wanted to go back and look. All right, well, my bad. I hit spacebar too many times. So we'll do attack Vampire Lord, attack Vampire Lord. This guy is going to attack the Vampire Lord, and then he is going to cast something also brutal. We're going to go for brutal again. We're going to leave him stoned. So he's stoned. If you unstone him, which you can, he's now dead. then you got to undead him, and then you can heal him. So it's 3 attacks wasted to get him from being not stoned. Though if I don't pick him out of this, then he will not get the experience for doing the battle, I think. But whatever. All right, so let's pick some of the biggest ones. So they disbelieve the Maelstrom, so we want to go with... And I did not get a chance to see what happened with the attacks. We'll try that again. All the way to the end. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Evan's over here watching me as he does work. He's like, I'm trying to work and you're over here playing. So I'm making a video for you guys, which is content, which is work. This is great. As you get semi-retired, you can call anything you do work and expense it. Except for eating. You can't do that one.
You can.
Only like, it only counts up to 50%.
There's something with like private chefs or whatever.
Yeah, there's things you can do, but I don't like to skirt the line. I like to be so far over the line that they're like, it's not worth even doing anything with because he's following all the rules. All right, spirit spell. What is this? Undead creature. Nope. Flame column. Single group. Let's do it. To Mangar. It's a bunch of spells I've never even used. And Demon Strike. I love that. Death Strike. So, but it's not. We did that one. It's only 10 feet away. Baylor's. Let's go for the Soul Whip again. This time. I won't speed through it. I'll just let it do it. Oh, I think everybody's dead. All right, a vampire casts a summon, but it fizzles. Okay, so it did work. Miss casts Mangar. Mangar is shocked for 196 points of damage, killing him. All right. And he swings at the vampire lord, killing it. So there you go. We killed everybody. Kind of anticlimactic, I suppose. I don't know. We made it with one of our guys being drained and the other guy being old. And actually, was Marcus the one that was old? It might have been. And so that's why he got turned to stone so easy. And then you get a ton of experience points. So, well, if he could show up, why didn't he just go do this himself? Anyway, the good Archmage appears before you in a flash of light. Well done, he cries. Your quest in Skara Brae is fulfilled. And so he's going to teleport you. Or, hold on. The evil one is defeated, and the spell of winter will soon end. You get 300,000 experience and gold. And then, of course, he vanishes, and he sends you back to the town. Ta-da! And you can start immediately into Volume 2, which I haven't done yet. I've never even played it. I didn't even know there was a Volume 2, so... it's not part of my history. It's not part of what I was playing. I just played the crap out of this game as a kid, and I remember it took me forever to figure out that there was a sewer. There was no internet to go research, like, what should I go get? It was crazy, insanely hard. The games that the kids play today don't come with instruction books, which is great because, you know, ASWD is how you move, and the formula has been developed. I remember that you used to have to like pull out the manual and it's like enter the key to play this game so that you didn't just pass it around and cheat. So if you didn't have the manual, it would say flip to page 9, look at the 3rd paragraph, get the 6th word, type it in exactly the way it's spelt. And if you didn't do that exactly right, the game would never play for you ever again. Or maybe you could, I guess, delete it, uninstall and reinstall, but that's the game. It was fun. I would like to see... Let me check out how many hours it actually says I played. So it says I've got 46.7 hours of playtime. And, man, I don't remember when I bought this game. I feel like it was December-ish. Was I playing this when you came home from school in December?
You can look.
You can look to see when you bought it? Info? Release date.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I bet you can. I just don't know how.
I think that's right.
Actually, I could probably just go through all of the activities and see when it loaded the first one. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I bought it in December. So, lifelong goal achieved. Beat Bard's Tale, the first one. My teenage self is now happy and complete, and I can check one box of problems off of my list to solve. The website I used a lot for this game was right here. Originally, as like I'm just gonna do this old school like I did the wizardry game, and I'm just gonna play through it. And that is not the way to do it. There was just too many odds and ends that I had forgotten, and I don't want to grind just for grinding. It was kind of scratching an old itch, and I wanted to make some content, and nobody likes to watch a guy just flail around there. So this is pretty cool. It actually walks you through all of the maps, and it has a legend, and the guy just did a copy paste. This thing is beautiful. So what's your name? I'll give you some credit here. Fabula Rasa. Thank you very much for what you did right here. I don't know how to rate this. Can I favorite? Right there, I favorite. Oh, I gotta sign in. I thought I was already signed in. Okay, signed back in, clicked it on as a favorite. I gave it a thumbs up. I don't know what else I could do to say this was awesome. Thank you very much. Rating, I don't know how to rate it. Anyway, this was great to be able to look at and to remember what things did. Also has a nice little summary of the important rooms. I found it super valuable getting down into these levels so I could hit the bigger battles and make sure I didn't miss something. For example, there was one where if you didn't go and get this key, then you wouldn't be able to... Where is it? Here it is. So I think this is it right here. You would find this master key, or you could buy a master key. So you had to have enough money. And I was like, I don't want to walk through this darkness the whole time. And it was just, pain. Then remembered, I could just possibly teleport into it, which I should have done. Anyway, great website. The other one that I used is this guy right here. It looks like it's kind of old school, but it lists out what all the spells do. And I forgot. You used to have to type in this one, it's M-I-F-I. So Mangar's Mind Fist. So Mind, M-I, Fist, F-I. And it would cast it. Yeah, that was kind of a pain. I did not use a ton of these spells. So, I don't know, you find your favorites. I did cast spells to... Let me go back and show you those. The spells I used... Let's see. Escape. Let's go cast. Okay. So if you go to this exploration, you're going to cast... Go to the bottom here. I used Sorcerer Sight, Major Levitation, and then a Stone Light, and then I think Sorcerer Sight is Second Sight. Yeah, so these things did this similar. So this lets you see traps. This gave you light, and then this lets you float, obviously. And then there was two more. I don't think it's there. I think it's a buff spell. Summoning, healing. Maybe it's in the healing. No. It's the YMCA one. The shield that you can put on yourself. There it is. Yarber's Mystical Coat of Arms. So I cast that. So there was the basic ones. And the compass. The very beginning spell. Where is it? Keel's Compass. That's it. Keel's Magic Compass. So you could see where you're going on the map. I would cast those before every adventure. Eventually... And the Bard song of more agility. So you could see with the buffs, without the buffs, my armor class is way down. So this guy's would go up by nearly 20 or 10, right, to get to 20. And these guys are going up by 10 to get to 26. So pretty good buffs right there. Oh, that's interesting. He's already at negative 17. I wonder what happened. Why this... Oh, that's the wrong guy. So it's usually the Bard that's up there. Anyway, that is the game. It was pretty fun, and I will play the next one, and there you go.